So here's a secret none of your gym buddies will tell you because they actually don't know it. But if you're a cricketer, for every push exercise that you do, you should essentially be doing 2 pull exercises for that. And I'll tell you why. So for cricketers, your back is your armor. No matter if you throw, if you bat, if you bowl, uh, your back muscles and your posterior chain is really important and needs to be focused on if you're a cricketer. So to keep things simple, we follow the 2:1 rule. What is the 2:1 rule? It's basically for every push exercise that you do, you add 2 pulling movements. So if you do a bench press per chest, you should be doing 2 pulling movements for that equivalent set, which means you could add a dumbbell row, you could add barbell rows, you could do some other posterior chain, you could do deadlifts for example, but essentially you need to add more pulling exercises than pushing exercises for your routine. If you neglect that posterior chain, you don't only risk a lack of power or lack of explosivity, you also actually increase your risk of injury right from your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back, to your upper back, to your shoulders. So it's really, really important. And mark my words, you will suffer if you don't add pulling exercise into your routine. Now, athletic armor is all about no fancy, no BS exercises. So I'll give you 3 exercises that you can add as your pulling movements for every push exercise that you do. First one is your dumbbell rows. You can either do it supported on a bench, or you could actually do it from the floor, or you could take a support of the rack. Whichever way or method you choose, the rowing movement with a dumbbell in hand is really important. Ideally you'd probably do a single-handed dumbbell row, just so that you work on the unilateral muscles and unilateral strength, and also work both sides, so ignoring any avoiding any imbalances in the muscles as well. Now, you don't need to go super heavy like a bodybuilder, but you need to be a bit intentional and mindful of the movement. So really squeeze when you go to the top of the movement, and go for anything from 8 to 10 reps on each side of your body. A couple of alternatives that you can do is a kettlebell row as well, or a barbell row if you've got the strength for it. But essentially any weighted row is going to help you. Now the second type of exercise or the pulling movement you should add is your banded pull aparts, or your rear delt flies, or your face pulls essentially. Now this again can be done either on a machine or with the resistance band, and you probably have been ignoring these muscles for a long time because they don't actually pop out when you take your shirt off, for example, but they will help you prevent injuries in your shoulder, in your upper back, and your rotator cuffs, for example. So add these in. You can add a few of them in your warm-up. So you can do face pulls to start off your routine, your upper body session with, or do some external and internal rotations as well. Or you could add your rear delts as part of your upper body pull day, for example. There are different ways and different methods to add to utilize, and also will depend on actually the program and the phase, but you need to be adding these in. Now the third and arguably the most important pulling movement are your foundational lifts. So basically your deadlifts, either on a conventional barbell or a trap bar deadlift is your go-to exercise for this. Personally, for cricketers, I would recommend a trap bar deadlift just because it's easy on the lower back, and there are less chances of injury and risk. But either way, this movement is brilliant, not only for a pulling motion, but also to strengthen that posterior chain, your lower back and glutes as well, which will not only again prevent injuries, but make you a strong athlete essentially. So add that in again. You can start with these exercises, add them into your pulling day. Don't go too heavy as well, and don't go too many reps. So you can do 5 sets of 5 reps each, um, anywhere between 70 to 80% of your max. But these should be staple in your routine essentially. So there you have it. your 2:1 routine or your 2:1 principle to add more pulling exercises than your pushing movements. You can also check out our other videos for cricket, where we have programs for bowlers and batters, and you'll notice the difference in the number of exercises and the type of exercises on different days as well. And that's again available freely on YouTube. But also feel free to DM us and or comment in terms of any questions or any feedback you have, or any videos that you want us to cover, in terms of exercises, doubts, myths, whatever it is. Just give us a shout.